Hey, this is Ranger Rich with Sci-Fi City, and this is the comic pull list for September 18th, 2019. First up, we have Batman number 79 from DC Comics, written by Tom King and art by Clay Mann. In the concluding chapter of the two-part City of Bane interlude, Batman and Catwoman pull a job to stop Bane's supply ship from smuggling dangerous cargo into Gotham City. It'll send a message back to the big guy that his reign of terror is soon to be over. But what does it also signal for the future of Bruce and Selina? I love this cover. It looks like this couple out for a night on the town, kind of doing some parkouring off the roof of something there. Anyway, lots of fun. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Next, we have Flash Forward number 1 from DC Comics, written by Scott Lobdell and art by Brett Booth and Norm Rapmund. His name is Wally West, and he was the fastest man alive. That is, until the multiverse was rewritten without him or his family in it. Wally returned and tried to make it work, but the damage was done. Spinning out of the events of Heroes in Crisis, followed the man who called himself Flash on an adventure to find redemption in a cosmos that has fought so hard to destroy him. I tell ya, I love Wally West. He is my Flash. When I was reading comics in the 90s, he was Flash. You know, Barry Allen was gone for, I guess, 20 years he was gone. So now Barry Allen's back and Wally West, there's just no room for him. They made a new version of him because of the TV show. But this is the Flash for me, so I'm excited to see what he does. I just hope they do Wally West right and give him his family back. Next, we have Justice League number 32 from DC Comics, written by James Tynion IV and Scott Snyder, and art by Howard Porter. The Justice Doom War Part 3. Things are getting dangerous across the time stream. On one side of time, the Justice League team finds heroic purpose. On the other, it's a future full of chaos and trial. It's the totality in action. If they can't stop Lex's Legion across all fronts, there may be only one other option: embrace Doom. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to embrace Doom. I don't really see that happening. I'm a huge fan of the Justice League, and this Justice Doom War has been great. I'm not a big fan of Commandy, the last boy on Earth or whatever, so they keep trying to force him in on us. But here he is on the cover with the Trinity, so and the Statue of Liberty is, I guess, leaning over. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. I can't wait to find out. Lex Luthor, You're the Villain number 1 by DC Comics, written by Jason Latour and art by Bryan Hitch and Andrew Currie. Apex Lex has made his offer to the villains of the DC universe, but has the superpowered evil genius gotten what he truly desires? The most deadly predator in the multiverse has set out to answer that question by seeking out his counterparts on other Earths. But will this meeting of the Luthors be the greatest team-up of all creation, or end in a bloodbath? Well, you gotta admit that, he's standing ankle or knee deep in dead Lex Luthors from other dimensions. So, I think that maybe they're not gonna want to work with him. And think about Lex Luthor. Would he want to work with another Lex Luthor? No, he would try to take everything that other Lex Luthor has. So, yeah. This will be great. Let's see where this goes. Nightwing number 64, Year of the Villain, from DC Comics, written by Dan Jurgens and art by Ronan Cliquet. Bloodhaven explodes in violence as a riot erupts in the streets. Rick can't face this alone, so he'll have to enlist the support of the Nightwings. Meanwhile, Talon has taken B captive to lure Rick into his grasp and reintroduce him, for the first time in Rick's memory, to the Court of Owls. So, you have, that's Dick Grayson. I guess they're calling him Rick Grayson in this book. And you see him falling as he's fighting Talon. And if you look around, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other Nightwings in the picture, and they're all falling, and they seem to be lifeless. This can't end well for the Nightwings. Superman number 15 from DC Comics, written by Bryan Michael Bendis and art by Joe Prado. At last, it's the return of the Legion of Superheroes. The greatest superheroes of the 32nd century have traveled back in time, not just to meet the heroes who inspired them, but to make an offer. But to which hero? And why will that choice tear Superman's life apart? Plus, the fallout from Lex Luthor's conversation with Lois Lane escalates. What dark secret did Lex tell Lois? Here on the cover we have Superman and a new character named Naomi. Now, I don't know too much about her, but she looks like Jada Pinkett Smith, if you ask me. But anyway, she's apparently some superhero that has incredible power. Sounds like a lot like Superman, so we'll have to investigate her and see where her powers come from. Absolute Carnage number 3 from Marvel Comics, written by Donny Cates and art by Ryan Stegman. The summer of slaughter continues. After the harrowing events at the end of Absolute Carnage number 2, Venom and Spider-Man have to deal with the hard truth that not everybody will make it out of this conflict in one piece. If they make it out at all, that is. As Carnage continues to amass strength and allies, Venom and Spider-Man realize that the only way to beat him is to do the same. So it sounds like they're going to go find some other guys to jump in. I know that if you were reading the Absolute Carnage and Deadpool, Spider-Man calls Deadpool wanting him to come help, but Deadpool's like, oh, yeah, no, I bonded with some symbiotes a long time ago, so he wasn't able to come help. But anyway, you see here on the cover, it looks like Carnage has absorbed Captain America, Venom, Spider-Man. Oh, and there's other people down at the bottom. There's Ben Grimm, The Thing, and some others. So lots of characters in this. Can't wait to see how this turns out. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 12 by Marvel Comics, written by Tom Taylor and art by Perez. Spider-Man is found dead in his very own neighborhood. Who did it and why? Only Spider-Man can solve this mystery, but how? I had heard that they were going to be killing Spider-Man, and this is apparently the book where it happens, but, you know, he seems awfully important to the Marvel Universe, so I don't know why they keep trying to get rid of Peter Parker. He's the only Spider-Man, really, as far as I'm concerned. All the other ones are knockoffs, you know, copies, but they gotta keep Peter Parker alive. This is really getting on my nerves. History of the Marvel Universe by Marvel Comics, written by Mark Waid and art by Javier Rodriguez. From the Fantastic Four to the death of Phoenix, witness the awe and majesty of the beginnings of the modern Marvel Universe. This is a great book. I love these encyclopedias about the different comic universes. On the cover of this one, you've got Vision, the Scarlet Witch. You've got the Fantastic Four and Loki and Namor and Doctor Doom and Professor X and Hulk. I forget that guy's name at the top. Is he Annihilus? I think that's his name, Annihilus. Anyway, so pick this one up if it's part of the set that you're getting. This is number 3 of 6. House of X number 5 from Marvel Comics, written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Pepe Larraz. Xavier's dream turns deadly for some of his students as they fight back against the humans' plan to eliminate them. Superstar writer Jonathan Hickman continues his reshaping of the X universe alongside artist Pepe Larraz. The future of the X-Men begins here. Okay, on the cover of this, we've got, looks like Apocalypse coming in to the swamp, so that's about all I can say about it. I mean, it's Apocalypse, it looks like he's in a swamp. Spider-Man number 1 from Marvel Comics, written by J.J. Abrams and Henry Abrams, and art by Sarah Pichelli. Who is Cadaverous? The most shocking and incredible comic of 2019 is here, as J.J. Abrams and his son Henry Abrams are joined by superstar artist Sarah Pichelli. What do they have planned for Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson? Who is Cadaverous? The modern master of mystery makes his marvel this September. Well, so this is a big deal. You know, if you're a fan of J.J. Abrams movies, then you may like this. You know, I'm kind of on the fence about the J.J. Abrams movies. It seems like they start off well, but then, you know, they go to the crapper real quick. And it seems like a lot of his movies are just retellings of old movies. So we'll see what happens with this. But, you know, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. It's got a great cover, so I'll definitely pick it up and check it out. Vampirella number 3 by Dynamite, written by Christopher Priest and art by Jurgen Gundas. Vampirella's struggle to deal with the complex emotional consequences of a major disaster caused by her enemies is exacerbated by an unexpected visit from her mother, Lilith, with whom Vampy has a complicated relationship. But has the mother of all vampires come to help or destroy her daughter? And will Vampirella's hapless therapist survive the encounter? Vampirella is a fun book. She always looks voluptuous and barely has any clothes on, and apparently is a vampire, so, you know, what's not to like? Star Trek Year 5 from IDW Publishing, written by Jody Hauser and art by Sylvia Californo. With the crew at each other's throats due to the truth artifact, Captain Kirk decides to head back to the dead planet it came from to find answers before it's too late. Meanwhile, Uhura has found that the artifact allows her to communicate with their Tholian passenger. The final voyages of the 5-year mission continue here. So this has got Lieutenant Uhura on the cover, who is always lovely, and looks like we've got some enemy ships coming in against the Enterprise. I guess, are those Vulcan ships? I'm not up to speed on my original crew lore. That was a little bit before my time.
So, for those of you that don't know, new comic books come out every Wednesday. So for collectors like me, that's the best day of the week. But I'm sometimes too busy to go on Wednesday, and I don't want to miss out on certain books, right? So I subscribe to the Sci-Fi City comic book subscription service. Now, I know all comic shops have a subscription service like this, but I don't think they all have the discount that Sci-Fi City offers. So if you get between 10 and 19 books a month, you get a 10% discount. That's common at most stores, but at Sci-Fi City, you get 20% discount if you get 20 to 29 books each month. You get a 30% discount if you get between 30 and 39 books each month. And if you get over 40 books a month, then you get a 40% discount on all the books you buy that day. All the books come with a bag and board included. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime. There's no obligation. So, To subscribe, just stop by a Sci-Fi City location near you and fill out the Sci-Fi City Superhero Registration comic book subscription service. That's right, we want you to include your superhero name and your superpowers along with your contact information. And then on the back of the forum, you just select which books, or as I call them, instruction manuals, you would like to get each month. So, you just come in whenever you can once a month and say your superhero name, and you'll get your books. So if you like to binge TV shows, then you'll probably like to binge all these comic books. So contact Sci-Fi City today and fill out your form.